What's up guys, my name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install the GTA 5 multiplayer mod FiveM. It's been around a year since I uploaded the last tutorial for last year how to install the game, and the mod has received a few different updates, the website's changed a little bit, and the installer has obviously received some updates too. So instead of just reposting the same video or changing the title to 2021, I decided it's time to go back and remake the tutorial for anyone who's looking to play GTA 5 on multiplayer using the FiveM mod. So let's jump into it. We're going to go onto fivem.net. The links will be in the description down below, so you can go ahead and install the software. Anything that I refer to in this video will be linked down below, so you can find all of the links there too. So first of all, what is GTA 5? So basically GTA 5's FiveM is a modification which enables you to play multiplayer on dedicated servers. These include custom game modes, custom scripts. It's basically a version of GTA Online that in my opinion is actually better because you can play things like GTA RP, which is GTA Roleplay. So if you've seen really popular Twitch streamers like XQC and many other really big Twitch streamers play GTA 5 Roleplay, or GTA 5 RP as it's also called, that's because they're actually playing FiveM. So maybe you've seen their streams and it's piqued your interest and you want to know how to play it and how to get it installed. So we're going to be running through that in a few moments in this video. So basically it's a standalone client which has over 200k players playing it. So it's pretty crazy, and this has basically been a community project which is basically a labor of love which has been going for a few years now. It streams the content to you, and as you connect to a server you download all the custom material and content which you need to play on that server. So for an example, it could have custom cars, maps, weapons, and dynamic content and material on the server, which makes it more custom than the original GTA 5 vanilla game. So you can basically connect to the server, and there's things like AI, so you can have NPCs on the server like zombies that are not actually players, they're just characters in game, which is super cool. You should definitely play the GTA 5 FiveM zombie survival mode, super awesome. And it uses the Rockstar's network code but with some improvements on top of it too, so you're going to see quality of multiplayer matches as good as GTA Online but better, and not flooded by those annoying mod menu players who are just blowing everyone up all the time and ruining all the lobbies. So that's another reason why I'd really recommend to install FiveM. So it's also standalone, it doesn't modify your GTA 5 installation, and you can switch between GTA Online and FiveM without getting any kind of bans. On my last tutorial I got asked so many questions about FiveM. Are you going to get banned if you use it? Can you still play GTA Online? What is FiveM? What kind of content can we get by playing it? For some of you guys who don't want to listen to this, I can understand you don't want the explanation. I recommend just skipping ahead a few moments to get straight to the tutorial, but there's so many questions in the comments that you guys wanted to know last time, so I'm just running through the basics. You can actually develop for this mode too, so if you want to create your own custom content, that's possible. You can also contribute to the FiveM project, and here's the system requirements, so this is important before we install it too. It's recommended you have an Intel i5 with 3.2 GHz minimum, a GTX 660 which is a 2GB card, or an AMD HD 7870 2GB card. So you need at least 2GB of VRAM, and you also need 16GB of normal RAM, which most people have 8GB at least nowadays, so that might be a little bit high for some people, especially younger players who don't have great PCs. And you need a hard drive which is 72GB, which is roughly I think the size of GTA 5 on Steam, and then 8GB is which is probably just for custom content and the FiveM mod itself. That's recommended, but the minimum is here. So these are the minimum specifications you'll need. So you can go ahead and read these or pause the video. Now, if we scroll down, you can see we do not modify the Rockstar online services, so you can't get banned on GTA Online by using this. So you can't use that as an excuse if you cheat on GTA Online and get banned because it wasn't obviously FiveM. And you will need to log in and verify your Steam. And you can also go to the server page to run a server. So let's skip to the good part. So let's go ahead and click download client, and you have to agree to the service agreement. I'd recommend reading through it, really, you probably should. I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. And then what we can go ahead and do is we can jump into our downloads folder on Windows, where we can now conveniently open our FiveM.exe which we downloaded, which is going to be our installer, and we're going to run this thing, and this is where we can install FiveM. Now I believe I've already installed FiveM, so that's the disclaimer here. I think I do actually have a version of it on my PC from many months ago, although I've not played RP or roleplay in a really long time. So it's updating FiveM here. Okay, so it's updating. I have 150 MB for the update, and it's downloading pretty quickly. So what it will do when you install it is it will verify the game content. So it will check your directory, and it says the local FiveM game data is outdated and needs to be updated. This will copy 30 MB of data from the local disk and download 70 from the internet. just press yes, I want to proceed. This is the update procedure. When you actually install it from scratch, it's basically the same. It just has to do a full download, and that's the only difference really. And then once you've gone through the actual installation process, you need to allow it through the firewall. And then once you've done that, it should automatically open, and it's going to say start in FiveM, and it basically scans your GTA 5 directory to make sure that you have all the appropriate files in there to run the actual multiplayer mod. And once it does that, it will come up with this interface. Okay, so this might be all confusing. You might be a little bit shocked and surprised about this and not really sure where to go. You can see in the top right, it will show the current player count, and it will show the last highest number of players in the previous 24 hours, and it will show whether the systems and the servers are online. You can also link your account here, so you can connect your accounts, which you need to do. You can check the change logs, which is basically the FiveM builds, so the last updates, what have they changed, what have they brought into the game. You can click on the settings here, so we can change our player name. So I could just change it to the Blue Crusader, so when I connect to servers, this will be my username. And by default, it should have linked identities here, so it's linked to all of my social medias, it's linked to my Steam account, and you can modify some of these options, for an example, which refer to the interface and different ports on your computer's internet. And we can just press X to go back to the desktop, or we can press the logo in the top left to jump back into the lobby splash screen. So now we're here. You can connect to the Discord here. You can donate on Patreon. You can go to the forum. We can click on this to open up FiveM.net, which is the main server browser. And this is where we play. Okay, so this is the community. This is where we get GTA 5 updates from the FiveM team and Rockstar. This is the FiveM official Twitter feed, where we get their updates. You can jump to play GTA 5 story mode with FiveM add-ons enabled, so you basically get the engine improvements from FiveM whilst you're playing GTA 5 single player, so it might just improve performance generally. It's basically using their engine. We have the replay editor to go back and edit and modify any clips you've recorded in FiveM. We have information on how you can learn to make mods, which is super cool. You can host a server or start a server. We want to jump into how to play the game, so we're going to have a look at the server browser. So we can go in history, which shows which servers you've played on before. So this shows a few servers which are previously connected to in the past. You can go on favorites. So if you like particular servers, you basically just click this star icon next to it and it adds it into this list here. And also, we just click on play, and this will go into the server browser. Now, this here is the filter, so if I want to type something in like RP, it will only come up with all RP servers. There's also tags here, so tags basically are what are next to the server here, and that basically allows you to find them and filter them in the browser a lot easier. So here's all the servers, right? As you can see, we have tons of servers over here. We have the filter, so we can have a look at servers which are only in English, and we can do this for United States. We can select English, United States, and United Kingdom at the same time, so we can have a total of around nearly 5,000 servers. So we don't have foreign servers that don't speak my language, because a lot of them also don't want English players on the server either, because obviously you have to speak the language of the server to play. So you can filter by language to find it easier to find an English or different language speaking server. We can access roleplay servers, which is what a lot of people want to play. So we could click roleplay, and it will find all the English speaking roleplay servers. For an example, we have NoPixel here, which is probably the most popular whitelisted server that you see a lot of these streamers play on Twitch and YouTube. So that's how you can connect to NoPixel. We can also have a look at some of these others. We have Carolina State Roleplay, which has custom cars. We can just basically have a look at these and find what we want to connect to. I could connect to any of these servers, and some of them do have a whitelist, so you're going to have to be whitelisted or enabled to actually play. So some of them will be locked, but I could just go ahead and just connect to any of them. So let's just go ahead and try and connect to these servers until we find a one that actually lets us join. And some of them require different versions, so just press OK, and it will change the version of FiveM that it's running to connect to the certain server, and it should restart the game. And then once you've done this, just agree to everything. It will download the appropriate data. Some servers run different builds of FiveM, and they require different sets of data. So to connect to certain servers, you're going to have to go through a few different installation steps, which can be a little bit irritating and annoying. Once you wait for it and we download all the game caching data, you should be able to connect to near enough any server. But like I said, a lot of the more serious roleplay servers, you're going to have to be whitelisted on to actually play on GTA 5. This is because a lot of them have rules to play, and they want to have more of a realistic play experience, and they don't want you to just randomly go around shooting people like GTA Online. They actually want it to simulate real life, and they don't want you to ruin the server with the mods, for an example. So some of them you will have to be whitelisted or part of the community to actually play on. But a lot of them you can just connect to and just join any server, which is what we're going to go ahead and do in a few moments. And then after it's downloaded everything, it should say connecting, and it will go through and it should say how to connect. Now, some servers, like I said before, will require a whitelist. So that server I tried to specifically connect to was whitelisted. On the right hand side, you'll see a few different popular servers like Impulse 99 Free Roam. We could just connect to any of these two. You can also sign up for an account. You might want to register, and it will usually go through and download a lot of custom content like vehicles. Sometimes you'll have to download a few gigabytes of custom content to connect to some of the most popular servers which have a lot of mods on them, but they're pretty fun when you actually get to join in them. So it says connecting to server, loading game. So we've joined this one called Impulse 99. This is a free roam server. There's mini games, racing, trucking, and deathmatch mode. And when you join, they'll say things like how to play the game, all the rules on the game. As you can see, we can have a look at what to do. We can see there's like a mod menu basically in game, which we press M to open, and we can change all of our characters' looks and spawn weapons and save our vehicles. So this is pretty awesome. There's some really cool stuff on this server. It's basically like a cool free roam server that we can play. We can view abilities by using /ability, and you can also turn on no clip mode. So this seems like a pretty crazy server that we can play. Obviously, if we play something like RP, we don't really have much freedom on, but if you play something like a free roam, you can just basically spawn vehicles and weapons and just have fun, which is what I feel like GTA is all about. Personally, RP is kind of fun, but it's not really for me in terms of super serious roleplay. I like to just play fun modes like this one. So we have dropped into FiveM. So it's as simple as that. We just installed FiveM and we jumped into a single player mode. Now, we're a ghost right now, and we have some weird colors. Reason why these colors are like this is because I have a shader installed in the normal single player game. I think I have the Natural Vision Evolved shader, which is like that really awesome graphics mod. So that might break FiveM, so I'd recommend to not use that shader when you install the game. But apart from that, this is how to connect to FiveM and how to play the game. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you like GTA and Minecraft videos. And I'll see you next time.